Hello and welcome on into World Ice Arena in Flushing Meadows, Queens, and we've got a good one for you tonight, hockey fans. The division-leading Dix Hills Hawks are in town to take on second-place New York City Raiders, and if that's not enough for you, RB's back in the booth with us tonight. But first, the Dix Hills Hawks come into this game as the undisputed champion of the Long Island Amateur Hockey League's Bantam Tier 3 tournament-bound division. They've compiled a 13-0-1 record over the season with a plus 74 goal differential. They've allowed only 23 goals all season, the fewest goals in the league, and they've scored a league-leading 97 goals. Just before the winter break, the Hawks outdueled the Long Island Sharks 6-1, and they melted the rinks by a score of 12-2. The Hawks would love to go into the end of January state play-in tournament having vanquished their closest rival in the standings. The Raiders come into this game having won last night against the AA Sound Tigers by a score of 10-3. More importantly, though, this is a game the Raiders have been eyeing for some time. The Raiders played the Hawks out in Dix Hills earlier this year, just after a wave of the flu had passed through the Queens-based team. The Raiders had an admirable showing that day, but ultimately they lost 5-0. And they held the Hawks to a tight game in that one, though. That was 2-0 most of the way through the second period. The Raiders come into this game with renewed confidence, and although they're down a few skaters tonight, they'll look to win this one to send a message to the rest of the division. For today's game, like I said, we've got a special guest with us, and it's RB. Ralph, how you doing tonight?
Good evening, Colin. How are we doing tonight, man?
Oh, we're getting settled in. This is number one against number two. It does not get better than this when it comes to January hockey.
No, it doesn't. This is the game that gets you out of your house on a Sunday, put your toe warmers on, you get to the rink, nice and chilly, and you watch it. But if you're at home live viewing right now, you don't have to be cold. You can be comfortable. So hello to all live viewers. Hello to you.
Well, hello and thank you to you. And candidly, I'm jealous. You didn't have to sit in that traffic on the LIE. It's like nobody's ever tried to get over to get on the Van Wyck before.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Traffic abysmal. Let's not talk about it. But I'm really excited about this game tonight. I think it's going to be an excellent matchup. Raiders probably coming in a little bit of a high from yesterday, winning, 10-3 over the PAL. But let's hope they keep their motivation up tonight and come through hard and give us a game.
Absolutely. Ralph, you were at the game. You were on the bench yesterday for 2 periods. You came up to the booth for the last period. What did you hear on the bench that you liked?
Well, I heard Coach kind of instructing the players to make the right passes, do the smart things, really to kind of challenge themselves so when the game does get a lot harder, they're prepared for it. So I want to see more of that tonight.
And what would be a successful first 5 minutes from the Raiders for you tonight? What would you like to see?
0-0.
0-0. And at worst, nothing coming out of the first 5, getting their legs under them. And it looks like Coach Coffey's going to throw Jason Bricker in net tonight. He got rested yesterday, but he'll take over the cage tonight. And Coach Coffey and the Raiders are ready to roll in this one. They've already got their skaters on the ice. It's Steinfink, Gosler, Petro Sinelli. Good to have him back after a bout with illness. Berliner and Bizarro as the starting forwards. Looks like the Hawks will come over the boards now, too, and get set. Referee at center ice, checking both goaltenders, who are ready. And now going to check the scorekeeper, and we've got puck drop here in period 1. Berliner wins that forward, and Petro Sinelli takes over the puck, sends that all the way in, and gives chase as that puck was on target. No ice incoming. Hawks now try and break out of their zone. They come up the half wall, hits the Zamboni doors, but it does come out of the zone, and then it's slapped farther by a Raiders player, so Gosler will track back in his own zone on the forehand, go around his net, and work that puck up and off the boards, but not out of the zone yet until it does deflect off a stick. The Hawks will have to pick it up again in the neutral zone. They make it only so far as Gosler, but Petro Sinelli laying that heavy wood on the Hawks early to remind them that he's in this game. Bizarro with a quick shot in, gobbled up immediately by the Hawks goaltender, and we get a stoppage in play just with 14:24 left to go here in the first period.
Well, Colin, you asked me what I want to see for the first 5 minutes. Well, guess what? We just saw a huge hit that happened literally right in front of us from Petro Sinelli. Boy, is he back. Yeah, and he making a statement there.
It's kind of rough to have the hit of the game be 36 seconds in, but sure was. And the Raiders will get some new skaters out there. And that faceoff's won forward by Finkelstein and shot just wide of the cage. The Raiders try and pick up the puck in the offensive zone, but instead the Hawks are able to get out of their own zone and through the neutral zone. They'll backhand one in, and try and go in on the forecheck. Blake Hyder, goal scorer last night, tries to work that puck out of the zone. Finkelstein in for support. Just to the side of the cage are the Raiders. They'll take over possession on the forehand. It's Eli Finkelstein, back from an injury in the month of December, and he works that up to Nate Koszlewski. Koszlewski now gains the line and dumps in and gives chase. He's got Rafi Samosi over there on the right wing for support. Samosi forces a pass up to the far half wall, and Finkelstein takes over there, works it back to Samosi. Samosi tries to get it on the backhand and send something on goal. Rolls off his stick, and the Hawks break out of their zone, at least momentarily, but it's right back in for the Hawks. They still have possession, still trying to use the boards, but some heavy hitting there, and working it out was Finkelstein. Try and work that puck farther. Aiden helps him out, but the Hawks come away with it. They're in the neutral zone, are the Hawks. Now streaking down the right wing, trying to send something in to test Bricker for the first time. Hawks can't get that shot through Hyder, and now the Hawks dump it in deep at the end boards. They look for that slot pass. It's in the mid-slot. Shot comes in. They go high up and over the glove of the Raiders goaltender. And at 13-18, it's Hawks 1, Raiders nothing.
Yeah, if you look on the replay here, Colin, the puck just comes right through the slot. Number 74 just takes it, puts it right in the top shelf over Bricker there. 1-0.
Yeah, tough start there for the Raiders. That puck just found that high slot, and the Hawks were able to deposit it right in the back of the net. Kind of a screened shot. Not sure Bricker had much of a chance on that one. A laser that finds the top corner. So we'll see how the Raiders respond. They've got Berliner out there, and Vigliotti and Kalemba as well. Puck comes right to the red line. Berliner cuts out the threat momentarily. Now the Hawks come in. They try and get on the forehand to go around Steinfink. Unable to do so, Steinfink takes over and works that puck around the boards, tries to find Vigliotti, and the puck just comes right back in. So Steinfink will pick up behind his net and work the puck farther over to Kalemba. Kalemba in the near corner now tries to work the puck up and out of the zone. He does find Berliner, who's going to skate this out of the zone. Berliner self-pass, tries to get to the puck. No interference call coming there, as he had just released the puck when he took the hit. Vigliotti in on the forecheck with Kalemba. Kalemba forces that pass up to the far point, and it's dumped right back in by Steinfink. So Kalemba gives chase. The Hawks have possession of it. They work it up to the near half wall, and now up to their own blue line and past the Raiders. They've got a mini break coming. They're in on Bricker on a half break. Shot comes in. Bricker shuts it down immediately.
Big save by Bricker. Definitely bailed out his defense there. You see Gosler here just gets beat trying to swing the stick, and then an outlet pass for a breakaway coming down the slot. But again, Bricker comes up big, keeps this game at 1-0.
So with 12:27 left in the first, this faceoff's going to come to Bricker's left. Berliner off in favor of Finkelstein, who wins that faceoff over to Hyder. Hyder now works that puck into the offensive zone. He's on the forehand, touched just a bit too far, and he'll try and chase around the end boards. Now the puck at the near half wall. Comes up on a Hawks stick. They're going to skate this out of the zone. They gain the line, and now they gain the offensive zone, do the Hawks. They're all the way into the offensive zone at the end boards, and it's taken over by Aiden, who turns the puck. Heavy hit, though, at the end boards. The Hawks player gets up slowly, but he is up with under 12 minutes left to go here, as the puck rolls out of the Raiders' defensive zone, and the Hawks track back to their own zone to pick it up. Hawks now have the puck behind their own net. Dom Zarro in on a heavy forecheck, trying to force the puck off the stick of the Hawks man. Takes him out of the play and picks up the puck. Tries to pass that into the slot, just misses Petrosinelli's stick, and the Hawks will break out of their zone, but without possession. Aiden now over at his blue line to gum up the play and cut out the threat momentarily as Finkelstein's with support. The Hawks apparently do not keep the zone there, as we get a whistle right as the puck had crossed the blue line. So at 11:28 left to go here in the first, we'll have a face-off just outside the Raiders' defensive zone.
Raiders definitely using their physicality so far, Colin. I mean, they have about maybe 4 or 5 hits. I think Petrosinelli kind of set the pace there in the first 30 seconds, and everybody's following suit, so it's going to be good.
Well, Samosi takes that ensuing faceoff all the way into the offensive zone. He's in the near corner. Now he turns at the end boards, tries to throw something to the slot, nearly finds the stick of Koszlewski, who tracks down that loose puck, sends it right back to Samosi. Samosi now working hard at the half boards, finds Gosler. Gosler jams that puck farther into the zone. Can't beat the second Hawks man, though, and the Hawks will break out of the zone. Berliner now turns with the puck at the red line. He gains the offensive zone, and he dumps it in. Nate Koszlewski gives chase at the end boards. Raiders trying to dump the puck and keep the offensive zone. Gosser now, look out. Rister comes in. That puck goes all the way in. That's a Raiders goal, and they get it back immediately.
Big goal by Gosler here. He gets it on the point, sees an opening, sends it through. I don't even think the goalie can see it. Gets right between his legs. They tie a game, man. Gosler even coming up big. 3 goals yesterday, another one today.
On the heels of the natural hat trick, Gosler sends a seeing eye puck all the way through about 5 bodies, the blue paint and the goaltender, to even this one up with 10:49 left to go in the first period. But look out, the Hawks win the faceoff. They pour right back into the offensive zone. They're at the near circle trying to send something into the slot, but it's cut out expertly there by the Raiders and Blake Hyder. Now the Hawks try and send something in again. Bricker way out on the crease to try and cut out the threat there. Shot never made it to him, and now the Hawks dump that puck in deeper. Vigliotti with a heavy hit on his man, but the Hawks still have possession as the puck bounces right into the slot. It's in the mid slot. Shot comes in, blockered aside by Bricker. Wonderful save there. Finkelstein tries to work that up to Vigliotti. It misses his stick, and Finkelstein gets a second bite at the apple as he crosses his own blue line. He's got a 3-on-2 if he hurries. He's being harassed on the back check from behind, so he just has to dump that into the zone. Vigliotti trying to track down his man and the puck. Forces a pass that Finkelstein cuts off. Puck sits at the end wall, and the Hawks try and use the boards to get that out. Gosler pinches in, forces a reverse, and so Kalemba now on the puck at the end boards. He stops, reverses, goes around his man. Puck comes into the blue paint. Koslewski can't get his, that's Finkelstein can't get his stick down, and the Hawks are going to be able to break out of the zone here. Finkelstein just tied up in the low slot there, unable to get the stick on the ice and put that puck in. But it was a wonderful pass by the Raiders and offensive play. Zamboni doors get Vigliotti, but the Raiders are able to get that puck out of the zone. And now they track the puck down in the offensive zone, but the Hawks get there as well and work this puck up and around the boards. Puck comes to Gosler. He jams it in farther. Berliner tips it farther, trying to find Kalemba at the end boards. Hawks instead reverse, but they hit the referee, and Berliner takes over in the near corner. Berliner on the forehand, looking for a teammate in the slot. Hits a skate in front, never makes it near the net. Petrosinelli now winds it over for Gosler, who lines up a shot. Just doesn't get all of it, but he does keep the puck in the zone momentarily. He cuts out the threat, but the Hawks continue to pour forward. They dump the puck in once they gain the line. Just over 9 minutes left to go here in the first period as Steinfink all over his man in the near corner. Puck comes to the back of the cage of the Raiders, and Steinfink takes over on the forehand. He's going to skate this puck out of the zone. He does. He gains the blue line, then the red line, and he tries to dump it in the offensive zone. But the Hawks cut out that pass and come right back the other way in the neutral zone. Hawks now into the offensive zone. Bizarro with a wonderful back check there. Takes his man off the puck. Raiders can't clear the zone just yet as the Hawks dump right back in. Steinfink all over his man. Cuts out a pass to the slot and tries to take over the puck with 2 Hawks men on him. Bizarro waits now at the far half wall. He's going to have to work that puck back to Steinfink, who tries to jam it farther. 2 Hawks in the way. And now Aiden will pour in at the end boards on the forehand and try and work that puck up and out of the zone. Unable to do so on the first try, but the puck does come to Berliner, who finds Bizarro. Bizarro one-on-one with his man into the offensive zone. Tries to go around his man. Bouncing puck. He's on the back cage. Tries to go high. He goes over the cage. Just barely misses there. And the Hawks will pick up and get that puck all the way out of the zone. It sits in the neutral zone. Aiden turns to try and fire it around the boards, but not be offside. Now Bizarro takes over. Tries to work that puck over to his defenders. Linesman in the way. And now Petrosinelli takes over the puck in the neutral zone. It's Petro all the way into the offensive zone with speed. He's got 5 Hawks on him. Still gets a shot off. Just misses the cage on that fluttering puck. And Finkelstein on the puck now in the near corner. Shot coming from there. Hits the side of the cage. And now Gosler picks up on his offside at the far point. Samosi works that puck farther, and Finkelstein will be the first one to this one. Some tired Hawks skaters out there right now as the puck sits at the near half wall. Samosi works it farther into the zone. Hawks will turn behind their cage on the backhand. They pick it up with some speed. They should be able to pass this out of the zone on a diagonal pass. They do. They cross the blue line, and now they break into the neutral zone and the offensive zone. They're on the forehand. Soft shot comes in on Bricker, and he just gobbles that up immediately. So with 7:19 left to go here in the first period, we're straight ones across the board. Raiders 1, Hawks 1.
Yeah, we see another save here, but Bricker. But all in all, end-to-end action, super exciting period. The chances are coming, the hits are coming, they're skating, they're huffing and puffing. It's good to see.
That's exactly why you take the car out to World Ice Arena, or you just flip on Midnight Sports. Gosler picks up the puck behind the net. He works that puck diagonally up to Samosi, who touches it farther out of the zone. Koslewski tries to work it farther. Samosi tries to pass it right back to him. Raiders desperate to work this into the offensive zone. Offside waved off there. Although the Dix Hills fans totally disagree with that. They're not the one wearing the orange stripes down there, so we play on. Puck comes up to Steinfink at the far point. All he can do is dump it in deeper as his shooting lane was cut off. Nate Koslewski turns with his man, takes him out of the play. A nice check there, and now Berliner tripped up. No call coming as we continue on, and the puck sits at the end wall with about 3 bodies on it right now. It's Samosi and Berliner in. Berliner emerges with the puck momentarily. Again taken out of the play there. Still no call coming as the puck comes all the way up to the top of the near circle, and now Dix Hills just dumps it to the weak side of the ice so they can clear the zone. Steinfink takes over in the neutral zone. He goes point to point with Gossler. Gossler tries to fire it farther, but the puck rolled off his stick, and Dix Hills dumps in. Steinfink now recovers that bouncing puck, goes behind his net on the forehand, finds Samosi, who tries to lift the stick of his man so that the puck would escape the zone, but instead, Dix Hills is able to keep the zone. Fans are getting a bit rambunctious now as they're hoping for a penalty call. Both sets of fans are. None coming, though, as Dix Hills breaks right back into the offensive zone. 5:58 left to go. Dix Hills walking that puck into the low slot, but it's shepherded out by Hyder all the way out of the zone. Finkelstein all over his man in the neutral zone. Dix Hills will have to turn back into their offensive zone and work that puck up weak side, try and get it back in the offensive zone. Instead, Finkelstein with a wonderful back check takes the puck in the offensive zone himself. He's got Vigliotti for support, can't quite get to the puck in time, and now the Dix Hills forwards pour forward into the offensive zone. They're all the way into the slot now is Dix Hills. They can't quite get the shot off at first. They're in a tight angle. They circle all the way around. Look for that slot pass. It comes up to the far point. Shot comes in. Kicked aside by Bricker there, and Kalemba takes over the puck at the near half wall. He's on the forehand, tries to skate that puck out of the zone, but he's cut off by the Dix Hills man, who works the puck farther in the offensive zone. Pass comes all the way through the slot. Vigliotti's the only player there with the puck. Tries to work that up and out of the zone. Bouncing puck, though, comes off his stick. He can't get enough power on it. He'll get a second bite at it. He passes it to himself right in front of the Raiders bench, but now the Hawks take over. They try and walk into the slot again. This rolling puck still finds a Dix Hills man, sends it right back up to the far point. Dix Hills now swarming in the offensive zone. The Raiders need to get a change here, and they need a change in a hurry. Pass comes in. Bricker will just cover as it hits off the side of the net, and then his leg pad. So with 4:49 left to go here in the first, defensive zone drill coming for the Raiders, but 5 new skaters out there.
Yeah, big stop by Bricker there. The Raiders definitely needed a change. They were looking a little lethargic, but either way, you saw a few instances where the puck is kind of slipping into the slot, and Dix Hills happened to get that shot off. The Raiders need to be careful. They have to reduce that.
Now Gossler takes over that puck and tries to send it out of the zone. Unable to do so just yet, but Berliner now tries to skate the puck farther. He does. He takes over the puck, evades 2 men, works it to Petro Sinelli in the center of the ice. Petro's laser shot, gloved down and frozen by the Dix Hills goaltender there.
Yeah, Petro coming in. Well, it started by Berliner to Petro. As they gain the zone, he takes a hard shot, but again, the Dix Hill goalie able to see that all the way through and glove it and stop play.
4:31 left to go here in the first period. This one's all knotted up. It's still going to be Petro Sinelli, Bizarro, and Berliner as the forwards out there. They've got Gossler and Steinfink as the defensive pair. Dix Hills eventually takes over possession of that faceoff and racks it all the way around the boards and out of the zone. Now they're on a mini break. If Petro can't get back in time, he does. He uses the body well to shield that puck, and then Gossler works that over to Steinfink, who finds Berliner. Berliner looking for Bizarro. Puck comes off his stick momentarily, but Steinfink's able to dump it in once he gains the line. Dix Hills tries to recover the puck in the near corner in their own end. They do. Berliner cuts off the immediate pass, but Dix Hills eventually finds a way around him, and they're through the neutral zone, trying to crash in the offensive zone. Gossler strong on his stick, finds Berliner after a touch on by Petro Sinelli. Berliner dodges 1 man, looks for Petro Sinelli. Petro Sinelli shoots, and he scores. That's a Raiders goal. It's Berliner to Petro Sinelli.
Big goal here again. When you see it, you see this pair up again, Colin. Berliner to Petro, but this time Petro makes no mistake, takes it hard, practically places that puck into the net. Raiders up 2-1 here in the first period.
Now nothing but twine for Petro Sinelli there with 3:46 left to go in the first period. Ensuing faceoffs, Finkelstein wins it forward, and Kishlevsky and Samosi are out there with him as the forwards. Hyder and Aiden as the defensive pair. Dix Hills breaks right back into the offensive zone. Shot hits a skate and goes wide into the far corner. Dix Hills tries to recover at the end boards. They do, but they find the stick of Eli Finkelstein, who shepherds that puck up to Samosi. Samosi on the backhand, can't quite work it out of the zone, so Dix Hills dumps it right back in. Dix Hills now all over the puck in the near corner, looking to get that puck out front for a shot. Raiders all over their men in that near corner, and the puck has not yet emerged from the 4 players that are in. Now 6 players in, trying to work that puck out. Raiders out of the zone. Dix Hills on net. Dix Hills does come away with it. They send a shot that goes well wide. Hyder tries to use the boards to work that out. Now Kishlevsky all over his man as well. Still, the puck sits in the near corner, and now the near half wall, and the Raiders do eventually work it out of the zone. Puck finds Samosi, who shepherds it farther, but then Dix Hills with their 3 skaters take over. They're right back in the offensive zone as Dix Hills, they try and round the net on the backhand. They find a player there for the one-timer, can't quite connect, and Dix Hills will have to reset in the neutral zone once they clear the offensive zone. They do. They pour right back into the offensive zone. They're all the way in at the far corner. Weak backhand shot is kicked aside by Bricker, and now Aiden tries to pick it up at the end boards. He's able to kick that puck over to Finkelstein, who sends the return pass to him and waits for Aiden to try and get it on the forehand. Instead, Aiden's taken out of the play, so Finkelstein tries to work it up farther. Instead, Dix Hills sends a long shot in. Kicked aside there by Bricker, and Dix Hills is able to keep the zone and fire that right back in with just about 120 seconds left to go here in the first period. Koszlewski tries to work that puck farther. Unable to do so around two Dix Hills men on the first try. He's working hard, though, to get that puck out of the zone. Instead, it comes all the way down to the near corner, and Aiden takes over. He racks that over to Samosi at the far half wall. Samosi tries to work that puck farther. Instead, Dix Hills dumps in again. 1:46 left to go here in the first. Again, the Raiders need to get this puck out of the zone in a hurry. Some tired legs. They do. Aiden with a nice chip out of the zone, and it's going to be a fire wagon change here for the Raiders. All five skaters off as Dix Hills tries to come the other way. Vigliotti picks it up in the neutral zone to buy his team some more time. On the backhand, he's taken out of the play, but so is his man. And now the Raiders try and move that puck forward. Right in front of the camera here as they try and send that puck in deeper. Instead, an errant pass there hits a man and bounces all the way into the Raiders zone. Now Steinfink tries to work that puck farther, kicks it to himself, then works it up toward Vigliotti. Not out of the zone just yet. Dix Hills looking for that slot pass. It's chipped farther by Berliner, not out just yet. Dix Hills dumps it right back in. Gosler now turns. He's on the forehand. He reverses that over to Steinfink. Steinfink picks up the puck, but it gets caught against the boards, and then he's taken out of the play right behind his own net. Still jostling for it behind the net are the Raiders and the Hawks. Puck does eventually emerge on the stick of Steinfink, and he's going to skate this out of the zone. He's got a 3-on-2 developing with Kalemba and Vigliotti all the way into the neutral zone. He's going to have to leave that for Vigliotti. He does, and he assumes his defensive position. Vigliotti dumps that puck in deeper, and now Kalemba picks up the puck on the forehand, trying to work that over into the slot, taken off his stick, so now Vigliotti fires in on the forecheck. Just 27 seconds left to go. Comes up to Gosler at the near point. Shot comes in, deflected just wide by Berliner. He's trying to fool the Dix Hills goaltender there, as he had it covered on the initial Gosler shot. Puck comes over to Kalemba, tries to work the puck farther, and then Dix Hills takes over with just 12 seconds left to go. They're able to break out of their zone. Steinfink cuts out the threat. The Raiders hope for just long enough. Heavy hit there right in front of the scorekeeper, and the crowd for Dix Hills goes wild. For the first penalty call of this game, it'll be Vigliotti to the box with 5.1 seconds left to go here in the first period.
Yeah, it was maybe something that could have been avoided, but there's the hit right there, and well, he got caught for that one. Vigliotti does a penalty.
Now we'll go to the box for 2 minutes, so the Raiders have their way. That penalty will continue into the second period with just 5.1 left to go in this one. First period, that is. So Vigliotti to the box. And ensuing faceoff on this penalty kill is going to be Petrosinelli. Petrosinelli wins that forward. Soft shot comes in, doesn't reach the cage. Pizarro just holds it in the far corner. Veteran move there to run out the clock. So after one, it's New York City Raiders 2, Dix Hills Hawks 1. Stick around. Coming up next, some messages from our sponsors. This first intermission on Midnight Sports is brought to you by Runnin' Wild Kids. Hockey fans, did you know that 9 out of 10 kids like toys? And that 10 out of 10 kids need shoes on their feet when they go outside? Well then, Why not satisfy an average of 9.5 kids and come on down to Runnin' Wild Kids at Court and Union in Carroll Gardens, Brooklyn to buy some toys and shoes. Or pause this broadcast and surf on over to runninwildkids.co to find something for those 9.5 kids in your life. It's Runnin' Wild Kids. Every purchase in January comes with a free grumble from Grumpy Anthony. All right, getting set here for period number 2, Ralph. 15 minutes on the board. Vigliotti in the box for what the Raiders hope is 1 minute and 55 seconds. They'll be shorthanded as we start this second period, but up a goal, down a man.
Yeah, we have to see if the Dix Hill Hawks, I'm assuming, going to come out hard in the beginning of this period, try to tie up this game, shift some of that momentum their way. But that last 2 minutes was definitely intense from both sides, so I'm really looking forward to the start of the second period, Colin.
Well, these penalty killers will be Petrosinelli, Steinfink, Gosler, and Bizarro for the Raiders. As we get set here, referees check both goalies and the scorekeeper. Puck's dropped, and Petrosinelli tries to work that puck forward. Dix Hills takes over, works that puck into the neutral zone, and now into the offensive zone on some nice diagonal passing. Good leave here at the near point for Dix Hills. They try that pass to the weak side, but it's cut out expertly by Petrosinelli, who dumps that puck all the way down, and it'll be touched up there by the Dix Hills goaltender as icing had been waved off. Dix Hills takes over in their own zone. They're trying to work through the neutral zone as Dix Hills with speed. Cut out again by Petrosinelli. He might get a shorty shot off here. He does. Fires it on goal. But even a glove down shot is some good penalty killing for the Raiders.
A little back check by Bizarro there. Caused Dix Hill to kind of give up the puck to Petrosinelli. He was able to get a shot. Didn't go in, but that's what you kind of like to see. A little disruption in the gameplay. Turn things the other way.
Well, it's a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason. The best defense is a good offense, and that's what the Raiders were doing on that play. Swing faceoff, though, won by Dix Hills with speed. They're all the way through the neutral zone in the offensive zone, looking into the slot on the backhand. Floater comes in, saved nicely there by Bricker, who is attentive to that shot as it was deflected in the low slot right on goal. Able to shepherd that all the way over to the far side. Now Gosler tries to reverse. Dix Hills picks up the puck. Comes to Steinfink, though, on the forehand. He's going to look to get this puck out of the zone. Instead, Dix Hills takes the puck off his stick. They wait in that slot. Look out for that one-timer. Bricker gets over. A wonderful save there by Jason Bricker. Now Samosi tries to take over the puck, and he works that over to Bizarro. Bizarro now on the puck, tries to work that farther, takes a hit there from Dix Hills, tries to pour right back into the slot. They're on the backhand, look for that pass to come right all the way up to the blue line. It does. They're in the high slot as Dix Hills. They try that shot. Samosi gets in the way of his man and takes over the puck on that long stick. He's able to bounce that puck out of the zone. Some good penalty killing there by Rafi Samosi. 21 seconds left to go on the kill for the Raiders here as Dix Hills breaks right back in. Gosler takes the puck off his man, tries to bank it out of the zone. Unable to do so on the first try, and Dix Hills just pushes that in. Steinfink waits in the slot to shepherd it farther. Instead, Dix Hills has a bit of a 2-on-1. Gosler takes his man out of the play, but probably illegally there, and the Raiders are going to have another penalty on him as the Vigliotti penalty only has 1 second left to expire. Well, Ralph, not much Gosler could have done there. He took his man out of the play to prevent an easy goal for Dix Hills.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's kind of a trade-off there, Colin. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, it was 1 second left in the penalty. They're going to be on 5-on-3 here for 1 second, but they're going to have to kill off another one, and hopefully they can keep that goal out.
Well, Gosler for 2 minutes for hooking to the box with 13:06 left to go here in the second period. Dix Hills wins that faceoff. We're back to 5-on-4 hockey, though, as Berliner comes off the bench and Vigliotti goes back out of the box to the bench. Berliner now works that puck farther. 13 minutes even left to go here in the second as Berliner fires into the offensive zone, and he's just going to gum up all the play as much as he can to kill this penalty. 1:46 left to go on that hooking penalty to Gosler. Puck sits in the near corner, still there as Dix Hills pours in to try and break out to some open ice. They finally do to the far circle, and now they try a diagonal pass up and through the neutral zone. That was tipped, so no icing coming, and then it comes off the referee's skate anyway. Hyder all over his man in the near corner. Raiders go in for support to try and work this puck out of the zone. Now Dix Hills wise to that attempt, sends an extra man in as well. Finkelstein working with Hyder, try and pick up the puck in the near corner. Finkelstein's able to shepherd that over to Berliner. Berliner chips it to himself and out of the zone to relieve some of the pressure. Berliner still on the puck, still Berliner on the backhand, leaves that for Finkelstein in the slot. Finkelstein hits the crossbar. Berliner picks it up again, tries a shot in, and the puck is frozen there. Oh, the Raiders were so close to a 2-goal lead there as Finkelstein hits the crossbar.
Boy, that started from Berliner there, just bodying through the left side of the ice, taking it all the way to the corner and then sneaking it in the slot. Man, tough shot. Hits the post, but boy, that was exciting.
Well, the Raiders will continue on the penalty kill here. 1:03 left to go on the penalty. Petronelli wins that face-off forward, tries a shot on goal. Now Bizarro all over his man, trying to keep the puck in the zone. He's got 3 Dix Hills men around him, and Dix Hills does take the puck off him and work it out of the zone. Now Steinfink turns with the puck in the neutral zone, tries to work it farther. Another heavy hit there, but it's going to be a penalty on Petronelli. Delayed call coming as Dix Hills sends their goalie off the ice and tries to work that puck up farther. Petronelli desperate to touch up here as Dix Hills plays that puck in. Steinfink will now need to touch up in his own zone. Dix Hills beats him to the puck, but not for long, as he does eventually touch the puck, but no whistle coming. There we go, finally controlled by Petronelli. So it is going to be 5-on-3, Ralph, for 29 seconds. As Petronelli will go to the box for interference.
Yeah, the Raiders here got to be smart. That's another penalty. It's back to back to back. They've been playing this whole period down a man. They got to be a little bit more careful. They got to be a little bit more disciplined. They don't want to give up control of this game. I mean, there's only so many times Bricker's going to bail you out. So,
well, Ralph, you're right. 3 minutes and 25 seconds into this one. The Raiders have had no more than 4 skaters out on the ice, and right now they only have 3 for 29 seconds. And still a full 2 minutes to kill on the latest penalty. Face-off in the Raiders zone. Berliner takes over behind his own net, tries to work that farther, but of course with the Raiders only having 3 skaters out there, there's no one to pass it to up high. Dix Hills tries to work that into the slot, hits a skate off Aiden, and Dix Hills will have to recover here at the near point. Dix Hills slapper comes in, Bricker kicks that aside. A sneaky good save there as he kicked that puck all the way to the corner, and now the puck comes out of the zone. Dix Hills goaltender out to pick it up. We're back to 5-on-4 hockey now as the Dix Hills goaltender's pass doesn't connect, and Dix Hills will have to reset all the way back in their own zone as that puck comes all the way back in. Berliner will change. Dix Hills tries to pick up the puck. They do in the neutral zone. They're in with speed as Dix Hills. Samosi on the back check, forces a shot, and now it's cleaned up there by Aiden after a Bricker save. Now at the far point, shot comes in, goes well wide of the cage, and Dix Hills will have to reset in the offensive zone. They're at the near half wall, trying to push that puck farther into the zone. Bizarro all over his man, as well as Hyder. Pass comes through, nobody home for Dix Hills, and they pick up at the far half wall now. They're on the forehand, looking for a one-touch deflection in the slot, doesn't connect. The Raiders will pick up the puck. It's Bizarro behind his own net on the forehand. He tries to go around one man. He does. He's going to be able to skate this out of the zone eventually. He finds Samosi streaking through the neutral zone. Samosi now on the puck. He dumps that in. 36 seconds left to go on this kill. 10-10 to go in the second period. Samosi tries a tight angle shot. Hits the side of the cage, and Dix Hills picks up the puck again. They go for a home run shot, but Samosi bats that out of the air. Oh, a wonderful bat down by Samosi. Keeps that puck in the neutral zone. Dix Hills will have to take over again in their own zone. This home run pass does connect. Steinfink back with speed. He's all over his man. And Dix Hills goes high over the cage. Steinfink forces that shot a little earlier than the Dix Hills forward wanted, but they're back in on Bricker. That pass comes in. It misses a yawning net there. Dix Hills gets a second shot at it, though, and they score with 3 seconds left to go on the kill for the Raiders. Oh, well, it looked like Bricker had made a wonderful save as he had come way out to cut down on the angle. The pass had just gotten by him, but the Dix Hills forward gets a second bite at that one and pots it over Bricker's shoulder.
Not sure if the Raiders were tired or not, but they seem to be watching the game a little bit there, giving space to Dix Hill, and they capitalized. And I told you, something eventually is going to go in, Colin.
Well, you said that there's only so much Bricker can do on 4, 5, 6 minutes of penalty killing, and it came true as we now have a tie game here in the second period. Dix Hill's right back into the offensive zone, but we're going to get a call here. We'll see who's going to the box. Looks like another interference call here on the Raiders, and it'll be Aiden going to the box. So a defensive zone draw coming up for the Raiders with 9:22 left to go. Straight twos across the board. Raiders 2, Hawks 2, second period.
I think the Raiders here need to pivot a little bit with how the referees are starting to call this game. You saw in the first period the refs kind of letting some of these hits go, but now they're starting to call it. They don't want to have the game get out of hand, so Raiders got to smarten up because that's just too many penalties this period.
Well, now it's the Hawks with the puck in the offensive zone. They've got some ice over there at the near half wall, dangling around a few men, trying to work something into the slot. They really want that slot pass. Unwilling to pump that puck up to the point initially, and Gosser takes over the puck, and he just jams that around the boards and out of the zone. It's a good clear by him, as Pizarro all over his man to try and pick up the puck. Looks like that penalty can't quite be right, as there's only 42 seconds left on it. We'll keep an eye on that, but it looks like there should probably be an extra minute on that penalty for the full 2 minutes. In any event, it's Pizarro now on the puck near the far half wall. He's taken out of the play, and Hyder tries to pick up the puck. He works it over to Petrosinelli. Petrosinelli's able to escape the zone with the puck on his stick. Now with speed in the offensive zone. Nearly takes that all the way to the net, but there'll be a call coming here on the Hawks. They'll be going to the box for the first time as the clock continues to tick here. And now it's stopped with 8:24 left to go in the second period.
You know, smart play by Petro here. Coaches always tell you, keep your feet moving. That's what Petro did. It gets pesky for the defensemen. They put a stick towards his foot. They tripped him. Able to get one for the Raiders here.
Well, it's going to be 4-on-4 hockey, but we've got a bit of a scorekeeping error here as the penalty was put up on the Raiders side of the board. So we'll wait and see exactly how that's worked out. But, you know, Ralph, this might give us a moment to talk about your venture. We talked about it a little bit last night, but tell us a little more about Cheesebox.
Oh, yeah. So it's the thing I started. You know, I do a little sports photography out there. I cover the Catholic High School League as well as this league. You can find me there. It's at @CHZ_box, Cheesebox. You can contact me if you want me to come and photograph your team. Why not? Just hit me on the DM on Instagram at Cheesebox. But yeah, go check it out. You'll see some hockey photos there. And we'll have some other sports coming up soon this year in the column.
Well, I've seen the photos, and I'll tell you, you know, people accuse me of liking everything. So I guess I have to say I really like the photos because they are tremendous.
Thank you, sir.
And our scorekeeper now still working here on getting the penalty on the right side of the board. It does look like they added a minute to that Aiden penalty, and we're just going to leave up the 2-minute Hawks penalty on the Raiders side of the board. But it is 4-on-4 hockey. Soft shot comes in from the near point by Steinfink, looking for a deflection in front. Nobody home for the Raiders, but they're able to keep the zone. Koslewski out there now in the far corner, tries to work that toward the net. Finkelstein goes to recover in the near corner, try and work the puck farther in the zone. He does. Hawks take over at the end boards, but Finkelstein gets it back. He goes around the cage, tries a wraparound, shut down there by the Hawks goaltender, and we get a quick whistle as well as some hitting around the crease as Koslewski, never shy in the blue paint, is right in the mix of it. And so with 7:57 left to go here, we get a stoppage in play and an offensive zone draw coming up for the Raiders. It'll be Finkelstein, Samosi, Koslewski, and Steinfink out there for the men in white. Puck won by the Hawks eventually, and they pass this up and out of the zone. Now Koslewski recovers all the way in his own zone. He's taken out of the play there. No call coming as it is all around the puck. And so Steinfink takes over in the neutral zone with speed. He breaks in the offensive zone. He sends a shot on goal, hits the side of the net, and the Hawks try and pick up in their own end. They're at the near corner are the Hawks. They're going to skate this puck up into the slot and now out of the zone. Samosi now on the back check around his man. The Hawks continue, though. They're all the way into the zone are the Hawks. They shoot Bricker with a save. Shot comes in. He's able to kick that aside. Oh, my. He must have had eyes in the side of his helmet on that one to see that puck rolling in on him. He kicked it aside, but the Hawks still have the puck. They're in the slot. They try a wrister. Bricker blockers that down and makes the second save. He's got to get around here to the near post before that pass comes out. He's up. Puck at the far point. And now the Raiders try and work that puck out of the zone. Koslewski all over his man in the near corner after a couple of nice Jason Bricker saves. Hawks still have the puck. Shot comes in, hits Steinfink, and never reaches the net. And now Samosi's able to shepherd that out of the zone. He's into the neutral zone, is Samosi. Breaks in the offensive zone. He's got Pizarro with him. He has to dump that in as the Raiders are making a change behind the play, and they're on the penalty kill. Hawks take over. Just 22 seconds left to go on this partial power play for the Raiders. Gosser takes over in his own end, uses the boards to try and work that farther to Finkelstein. Finkelstein tries to work it up to Pizarro. Hawks stick gets in the way. Now Gosser on the backhand, still trying to work it farther, right in front of the scorekeeper. Puck comes into the Raiders zone, and Hyder will have to pick up. He looks up and examines his options. He's got Pizarro weak side, tries to find him, but he hits a Dix Hills Hawks stick. And so with 6:21 left to go here in the second, we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Hawks try and work it into the offensive zone deeper. They do. It's in the near corner, and it's racked all the way around to the end boards. And the Hawks will retain possession there. Trying to work it in front to the slot. Hits a skate there. Vigliotti picks up the puck. Can't work it out of the zone just yet. Puck in the near half wall, near corner now, as Dix Hill cycles the puck all the way around. Looks like into the slot. That puck comes in, shut down by Bricker, and the Hawks take over again at the near dot. Now it comes to Vigliotti. He's on the forehand. He sends that weak side all the way over to Bizarro, but we're going to get a call as two players have their helmets stuck together in the defensive end of the Raiders. Well, Ralph, you don't see that every day.
No, you don't. Thankfully, they're getting along.
That's like a cousin of worrying about the girl you kiss has braces and you've got braces. You might get stuck together.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad they got their helmets back.
Absolutely. Looks like we've gotten that one worked out. No word yet on the braces thing, but it'll be Berliner. And Berliner wins that all the way back into his zone, and Steinfink's going to have to recover now in the near corner. Puck comes up to Berliner again. He's on the backhand. It's just slapped farther by Dix Hills. Dix Hills tries to go low on Bricker. Bricker shuts it down. Now he goes post to post. Puck doesn't come in on him yet, and it's fired out there by Gosler. Well, no harm, no foul there for the Raiders, although the puck was in on net. Very close. No call coming as that puck was right around both players who hit. Vigliotti taking his man out of the play legally, and the Hawks, will have to recover in their own end. Hawks work that puck up and out of the zone. They're in the neutral zone now. And they try and work that all the way up to Berliner in the neutral zone, but the puck just sits momentarily until Sam Berliner does take over. He's in the neutral zone. He's got Vigliotti, and he's got Kalemba. Kalemba on the forehand, tries a shot in, just misses the cage. Vigliotti, tight angle shot, hits the side of the cage, but he gets it back and tries to jam it farther. Dix Hills Hawks goaltender plays that to the end boards, and Vigliotti tries to take the puck off his man. He does. He's on the forehand. He's got Berliner with him. Hits a stick, though, and that goes up into the netting. So with 4:35 left to go here in the second period, we get a stoppage in play, and time to remind you, you're watching Midnight Sports. Now with a new and improved booth, at least for one game, Midnight Sports. Offensive zone draw here coming up for the Raiders. It's Finkelstein at the dot. He wins that puck and tries to send it to Koslewski. Koslewski sends that shot high up on the goaltender, and it's gloved right there by the goaltender, so we get another stoppage in play. Well, it's going to be a face-off again here for Finkelstein. He's got Samosi and Koslewski out there with him as the forwards. Hyder and Aiden as the defensive pair. 4:30 left to go here in the second. Very, very tight game here. Koslewski tries some stick work at the dot. Puck just rolls in again, and we'll get another stoppage in play. Do it all over again with 4:23 left here in the second period. Ralph, how about that pushback by the Raiders after the Hawks scored their second goal?
Oh, well, they needed to do it. They had to make up for a poor beginning of the second period. So something you need to do if you want to stay in this game, Colin.
Well, that faceoff's one forward. Samosi tries to shepherd it over to Finkelstein, who gets to the puck, but two Dix Hills men on him, and the Hawks break the other way. Dix Hills dumps that puck once they gain the line. Naden turns to try and pick it up. He does kick it with his skates out of harm's way, and Koslewski's able to jam that puck farther out of the zone. It's still Nate Koslewski on the puck. He's got two Hawks men on him, so he'll dump that in deep and hope Finkelstein and Samosi can help on the forecheck. Finkelstein at the near corner. Tries to work the puck farther. Samosi over for support. Samosi with the puck on a stick. Works it up to Hyder. Shooting lane not there, so Hyder dumps it in deeper. Finkelstein takes over behind the net again. Tries to send that out to Koslewski. Can't quite find him. And the Dix Hills Hawks will break the other way. They're all the way in the neutral zone, but Hyder, with good gap control, is able to stop that puck at the blue line. The Hawks will have to set up again in the neutral zone with 4:23 left to go here in the second. Clock not moving just yet. We'll eventually get that clock going, but the Hawks take over in their own zone. Clock now moving. The Hawks picked up the puck behind their net. They try and go all the way up the rink. Cut out there by Aiden, and now taken over by Bizarro. Bizarro with some speed through the neutral zone. He's got two forwards with him. He cuts to the slide, shoots high. It's gloved right there by the Dix Hills Hawk goaltender. And with 4:08 left to go here in the second period, we get a stoppage in play and an offensive zone draw coming up for the Raiders.
And we see Bizarro here, cut to the middle, tries to go into the top shelf there, but the goalie sees it all the way, able to make a glove save.
Berliner over the dot, wins that face-off forward. He's got Steinfink behind him, but the Hawks are going to break out here, and the Raiders need to get back as the Hawks have a 3-on-2 developing. They're shepherded wide by Gosser. Great stick by him. Sees the puck roll all the way to the far corner. Now he's all over his man, trying to work that puck out of the zone. The Hawks cut out that pass, and they cycle that puck in deeper. They're around the back of the goal, into the slot. Oh, it doesn't connect there. Boy, the Raiders dodged a bullet there. Now Bizarro with speed the other way. He's at the far side of the offensive zone. He just has to dump that in, as the shooting lane wasn't available, nor was the passing lane. Berliner in on the forecheck. Comes up the play at the end boards, and Bizarro tries to take over. He's all the way on the far side of the ice. He's able to gather that puck and get on the forehand. He sends that shot in, saved nicely by the Dix Hills Hawks goaltender, and the Hawks will take over again. Bizarro tries to get the puck back from his man. Petrosinelli all over his man as well. Nice clean hit there in the far corner. Sees Berliner now try and gum up that pass. Bizarro pours right back into the offensive zone. He's got Petro and Berliner with him. Bizarro tries to take the puck around the cage and then find Petro. Puck comes into Petro's skates. Can't do much with it though, as he's handcuffed by the pass, and the Hawks will break out the other way. 3 minutes even left to go here in the second. Gosser takes a heavy hit there, but the whistle's not for the hit. It's for the Raiders being offside. So with 2:56 left to go here in the second period, we'll get a face-off just outside the Raiders' offensive zone.
I see a little momentum on the Raiders side for that shift. Wasn't able to convert one, but definitely giving a hard time to the Dix Hills goalie, that line.
Trying to tilt the ice are the Raiders, and Finkelstein wins that puck forward. Bigliotti tries to work it farther. Instead, the Hawks come the other way. Now Dix Hills takes over in the neutral zone, and they work it all the way up into the offensive zone. They've got two forwards breaking toward the net. They try a long shot that misses the cage. Now Vigliotti all over his man at the near point. Hyder will have to turn in the near corner. The Hawks take over, and the puck comes to Kalemba, who shepherds it farther, but not out of the zone. Shot comes in, hits Bricker's chest. It's loose for right now, and it's at the near dot, and Finkelstein's able to swipe that puck over to Vigliotti. Vigliotti has Kalemba with him. Vigliotti into the offensive zone. He's on the forehand, uses the body to try and go around. Oh, he can't quite get the shot off. As he was rounding the goaltender, he couldn't switch it to the backhand and put that puck into the empty part of the net. So Dix Hills survives on that one. Raiders still have the puck in the offensive zone, at least momentarily, and now Dix Hills is going to be able to skate that puck up and out of the zone. Dix Hills through the neutral zone on the forehand. Can't dangle around Aiden, though, who pushes the puck right out of the zone again. Right in front of the Hawks bench now. Finkelstein works the puck into the offensive zone. Finkelstein on the forehand. He's got a few men around him. Puck rolls wide on him, and Vigliotti tries to send it right back for the one-timer. Gummed up nicely by the Hawks. No shot coming. And the Hawks look to break out with just 1:58 left to go here in the second period. Good keep there by Gosser. He fires that puck in farther as the Raiders change behind the play. Kalemba and Finkelstein in on the forecheck. Samosi out there now. Gosser with the puck. He's got Steinfink as his defensive pair. Dumps the puck to the empty part of the ice so the Raiders can complete the change. Steinfink watches his man, who sends the puck weak side, and Berliner will take over. Berliner sends that puck to Gosser. Gosser uses the boards to get that puck up over weak side to Samosi. Samosi tries to work it farther. Gets stuck in his skates, but he is able to take over control of the puck and work it to Kishlevsky. Tries to dump it in, but hits a Dix Hills stick, and now the Raiders will have to recover in their own zone. Gosser on the puck, surveys the ice, comes right back strong side to Kishlevsky. Kishlevsky handles that pass nicely and dumps it into the zone. 1:15 left to go here in the second period as the Hawks try and work it out of their zone. Puck sits at the offensive blue line for the Raiders, and Kishlevsky's able to work that puck all the way into the zone. 65 seconds left to go here in the second period as Kishlevsky's all over his man, and the Hawks will have to reset in their own zone. They do. Some empty ice in front of the Hawks, now gummed up right at the red line by Steinfink and Berliner, and Samosi tracks back to recover the rolling puck. He's able to work that off the boards right up to Kishlevsky. That's a good play there for the Raiders. Consistently some open ice on that side as the puck just sits in the neutral zone, though, and the Hawks take over. Kishlevsky takes his man out of the play again. He is a man on fire out there, Ralph, right now.
Oh, yeah.
Steinfink dumps that puck right back in with 34 seconds left to go. The Hawks will have to pick up the puck in their defensive end. Berliner all over his man, but the Hawks are able to skate around him, and Bizarro now harasses his man wide, and the Hawks try to get a pass to the slot. Raiders need to be careful here. Just 21 seconds left to go. We are going to get a call, though, in the defensive zone for the Raiders. Bizarro able to buy a penalty there with 17.9 left.
Yeah, another classic example of keep your feet moving. When they can't catch you, they use their sticks, gets caught up in your feet. You draw that tripping penalty, Colin. Nice again. I think this is a big deal, especially ending this period and going into the next one, because certainly the Raiders came out this period a little behind with all the penalties. Let's see if from here they can turn things on. Don't know if they'll take the lead now, but maybe carrying this momentum into the third period.
17.9 left to do it in this period. Try and get one up on the scoreboard. It's going to be Finkelstein, Pizarro, and Petrocinelli as the forwards. Aiden and Hyder as the defenseman. Petrocinelli sends a shot in. It's deflected just wide. And Pizarro will pick up the puck in the near corner, but we get a quick whistle. Looks like that shot was deflected off a Hawks player who stays down momentarily. Good news is with 8 seconds left, he's back on his skates, looking to kind of shake it off by skating a bit. That was a hard Petro shot. I don't know about you, Ralph, but I would not want to block that shot.
No, not with all the equipment in the world, Colin. Definitely. But with 8 seconds left, I know the period's not over yet, but if you want to hear my 3 stars of this period, it's the Raiders goaltender, the Dix Hill goaltender, and the guy playing the music. Great job this period on those 3 people.
Very good. We're going to send out those notifications at intermission. It's Finkelstein to win that. Pizarro with the shot in, and that's gloved with just 4 seconds left to go by the Dix Hills goaltender.
You look at this chance right off the face-off, Colin. Raiders get the face-off, win the face-off. Pizarro comes in, kicks it to his stick, and then boom, sends it, but
well, he does the same thing again. Now he works it over to Petrocinelli. As time expires, that puck was deflected up and out. So after 2, it's New York City Raiders 2, Dix Hills Hawks 2. Stick around. We're going to put 15 more minutes on the board, and the Raiders will have another minute and 43 seconds left to go on the power play when we come back. Well, let's go ahead and visit with those sponsors again here during the second intermission. Today's Game on Midnight Sports is sponsored by Screen Time for a Third or Fourth Kid. Hockey fans, remember when you had one child? Every little thing about that kiddo's life was vetted, curated, and analyzed. If screens were even available, it was Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood or Sesame Street, and only for 15 minutes a day. But now you have multiple kids, and you just need a moment of peace in a day filled with yelling, obligations, and work. That's why we're here to remind you that being completely hypocritical with how much screen time you give your third or fourth child is totally fine. Ignore those protests of your teenager or 20-year-old about how he or she never got to watch so much TV. You deserve your moment of quiet. It's screen time for third or fourth kids. Wait, they're 6 years old and watching Nightmare on Elm Street? Oh well, they'd see it eventually anyway. Well, Ralph, as we get set here for the third period, we have put 15 more minutes on the board, but longtime Midnight Sports viewers will know that a certain someone made a promise in December about a Raiders winning streak and coming out of a winning weekend. Our very own Paul Berliner promised to shave a couple of numbers into the back of his head, and he very much did that this January. So, Paul, never let anyone say you don't fulfill your bets. Well done, sir.
We have the proof for it, too. If you check it out on Instagram, the picture's there, at @midnight_sports.
Absolutely, and we just put it on the broadcast, I believe, as well. And if that wasn't enough of a view, go ahead and hit that Instagram account. Puck comes in on the Dix Hills goaltender. We get a quick whistle and some shoving by the net as that whistle was blown a little too quickly as for the Raiders fans in the building. So with 1:18 left to go on the power play here for the Raiders. It's not going to be a power play anymore. You know, Ralph, they always tell you it's the second hit that gets called, and that looks like what happened to Petrocinelli there. As he was hit as the whistle went, and he tried to give as good as he got, and he's the only one going to the box here for 2 minutes.
Yeah, we saw Bizarro there. Kind of took a little hit right near the net. I think Petro was just standing up for his player, but, you know, you can't do it. The ref's going to call it. We lose the power play.
Here we are, 4-on-4 hockey. Laser shot comes in, gobbled up immediately by Bricker. No rebound coming, and that's what the Raiders needed on that as they get sorted out in their own end. So it's 4-on-4 hockey for 1 minute and 13 seconds, and then Dix Hills will go to the power play for 42 seconds. I think my abacus has that right. All right, 14:27 left to go here in the third period. Raiders look to break out of their zone. Puck on the stick of Steinfink. Bizarro calling for it at the blue line. Couldn't quite get clear enough for Steinfink to pull the trigger. And so the Raiders will dump in, and Dix Hills tries to work that out of their zone. Dix Hills now at their own blue line. They come weak side and gain the neutral zone. Dix Hills gains the line, but they don't dump in with all that ice out there. And Berliner picks up the puck in the neutral zone, shepherds it up to Bizarro, who gains the offensive zone. Bizarro tries to go around 3 men. He didn't have any support with him. So Dix Hills takes over again. Dix Hills at center ice, tries to work that puck farther. Gosler will turn to pick up in the near corner in his own end. Gosler on the backhand, still plenty of ice out there, reverses the puck. And it comes off on a strange carom there to Berliner, and Berliner finds Bizarro, but the puck's chopped off his stick, at least momentarily. Now Gosler with speed, stops, goes around his man, look out, sends that puck in, and it's gobbled up by the Hawks goaltender. So at 13:34 left to go, it'll be a Raiders offensive zone draw coming up.
And we see Gosler here gaining the zone. Tries to put one in net. Had Bizarro on the right side, but goalie just gobbled it up. No rebound. Good job by the Dix Hill goaltender.
Now it'll be Samosi, Aiden, Koshlewski, and Hyder out there as the 4 Raiders skaters. Samosi wins that puck forward. Turns his shoulder, works it up to Hyder. Excuse me, not Hyder, to Aiden. Fluttering puck comes in. Koshlewski couldn't touch that one. It would have been a high stick. So it just nestles into the glove of the Hawks goaltender, and we'll do it all over again with 9 seconds left to go on 4-on-4 hockey, and a farther 42 seconds, 5-on-4. Hyder sends a shot in. Not sure the Hawks goaltender knew much about that one, but the shot goes wide. Aiden keeps the zone, sends that puck to the stick of Koshlewski, who loads up for the shot. It's still loose in the crease, still loose. Samosi has a crack at it, but it comes out of the zone. Oh, the Raiders were that close to a shorthanded goal, and a sneaky one at that. Instead, the Hawks break into the offensive zone. They go around Hyder, who shepherds his man wide, and now the one-timer comes in, but can't be deflected on net, and Hyder takes over. 23 seconds left to go on the kill here. Good clearance by him out of the zone, and the Hawks will have to reset in the neutral zone. Samosi out there as a penalty killer with Koshlewski, Gosler, and Steinfink. Steinfink takes the puck off his man, not out of the zone just yet. The Hawks are buzzing. They send a shot in, and Bricker able to find that one in the armpit, it looks like, with just 6 seconds left to go on the penalty kill for the Raiders.
Puck goes across ice. Another shot coming in from the points. Bricker sees it all the way, able to look like he wanted to blocker that one out, but he kind of tucked it in under his arm. Again, no rebound, good control.
Well, that's why all those goalies out there always buy your jersey 7 sizes too big, and it can get caught in the material.
You know the good trick, Colin.
That's why no one listens to my advice, Ralph. Anyway, the Hawks come away within the offensive zone. They're on the forehand. Oh, a nice back check by Steinfink, and Gosler had his stick in the way, and the Hawks don't get the shot off, but they're going to get a second shot at it here. They send it in on Bricker. Bricker kicks that aside, and now the puck comes to Kalemba. He's going to skate this out of the zone. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Kalemba works that over to Vigliotti on the forehand. Vigliotti pushed wide, circling around his man, trying to return the pass to Kalemba. Hits a stick in front, and Finkelstein can't get there quite in time as the Hawks take over in their own end, at least momentarily. Kalemba gets that puck, works it on the backhand, tries to work it up to a teammate. Instead, the Hawks come away with it out of their zone. They're in the neutral zone, and they gain the line and dump it. Under 12 minutes left to go here at World Ice Arena in Flushing Meadows, Queens. Finkelstein will take over in his own end. He's at the far corner, works that puck up to Vigliotti, just a little too hot to handle, and the Hawks will dump right back in. Gosler fires in at the end boards. Turns his shoulder, looks, tries to jam that puck up and out of the zone. Comes to Kalemba, but then rolls off his stick momentarily until the Raiders do get a second try to get that puck out of the zone. Hawks fire it right back in. Steinfink now picks up the puck, works that over to Vigliotti, who tries to stop the pass and then send that weak side. He does. Takes a heavy hit to do so, but Finkelstein works it over to Kalemba. Kalemba now breaks into the offensive zone. Kalemba works that puck all the way around the boards. Finkelstein tries to shepherd it farther to Vigliotti, who sends a tight angle shot just off the side of the cage. Kalemba retrieves, sends it to Finkelstein, who works it over to Vigliotti. Vigliotti tries again. Kalemba looking for that deflection, and it goes just wide. The Hawks will take over now in their own end. They work that puck up to the blue line and out of the zone. Hawks now through the neutral zone with some speed. Hyder back to try and cut out the threat. The Hawks get in on Bricker, but they send that wide of the cage, and Finkelstein will take over at the blue line and work the puck up and out of the zone. Kalemba now shepherds that puck farther with his skate, then his stick. Gains the offensive zone, and the puck comes off his stick on a nice poke check there by the Hawks. Berliner back out there now at the offensive blue line. Puck comes up to Hyder. Hyder works it farther to Bizarro. Bizarro touches it on in the offensive zone, but without possession. All over his man. The Hawks will have to reverse the other way. Puck comes up to Hyder again in the neutral zone. Waits for support from Petrosinelli. Petrosinelli takes over. He's across the blue line, trying to get some purchase to get that puck onto the forehand. Unable to do so as the Hawks were all over him. Now the puck comes over to the Raiders in the far corner. That's Bizarro, who tried to cycle it around. Puck now comes up to Hyder at the near corner, who works it over to Berliner in the neutral zone. Berliner waits for the zone to clear. Bizarro with him. Berliner sends a shot in on goal, and it's gloved and frozen there by the Hawks goaltender with 10:06 left to play.
Pretty good cycling by the Raiders these past couple shifts. They're able to kind of keep possession, work the puck around the corner, get a couple chances. Nothing going in yet, but if you keep doing it, eventually you'll be able to convert something.
Well, the ensuing faceoff's going to be Berliner. He's got Petrosinelli and Bizarro still out there with him. Steinfink and Gossler as the defensive pair. Hawks are going to take over in their own zone and work that puck up to the blue line, but not out just yet. Bizarro tries to curl with the puck on the backhand and work it farther. Berliner in for support. Bouncing puck, though, looks like it might come out of the zone until Gossler gets in the way, and then he tries to poke it farther. He does. It's all the way in the far corner now, and the Hawks will try and reverse, but they only find Bizarro, who is covering for Gossler. Deflection goes just wide off the stick of Petrosinelli. Hawks now try and reverse the puck the other way. Bizarro cuts out that pass, and he curls on the forehand. Look out, trying to get that shot off, rolls off his stick, and the Hawks will take over and get that puck up to the red line, but no farther, as Berliner and Steinfink work together to take over possession there. Looks like we'll get an offside call, though, with 9:22 left to go here in the third period. It'll be a face-off just outside the Raiders' offensive zone. And time to remind you, you're watching Midnight Sports. A view so nice, you won't even want to come to the game. Midnight Sports. Raiders break back into the offensive zone, but without possession, so the Hawks turn it right back the other way in the neutral zone until Koslevsky gets on the puck and comes up to play at least momentarily. Now the Hawks come into the offensive zone, but offside, so with 9:08 left to go in the third, we'll get another face-off, and this one will be right outside the Raiders' defensive zone.
Another good song selection by the guy. Every time this song comes on, I feel like something's going to happen. I don't know what it is.
Well, then you need to be saving that song for the Raiders' offensive zone if you're a Raiders fan. In any event, the Hawks break right back into the offensive zone and try and work that puck up to the far point. They do and dump it in farther. Puck sits at the far corner until the Hawks try and cycle it around. 3 Raiders and 3 Hawks go into the near corner. Sounds like the start of a joke, but instead, it's just a hockey game. Hawks cycle that around to the far side, slap it farther, but not past Samosi, who works that puck down to Finkelstein. Finkelstein on the puck. He's able to dangle around his man, but he loses his stick in the process, and Aiden will have to skate this out of the zone. Aiden with the puck. Samosi calling for it on the far side. Aiden skates that all the way deep in the zone, and now passes that into the slot. Whoa, last-ditch effort there by the Hawks defenseman is the only thing preventing the Raiders from being up a goal right now. The Hawks will have to curl behind their net. They're on the forehand. They survey the ice. Koslevsky fires in behind the net to flush his man out. They come up this right side wing, but no farther than Eli Finkelstein, who stops the play there. Puck still sits there until it finally rolls out of the zone, and Aiden will take over. He goes point to point with Hyder. Hyder works that up to Samosi. Samosi shepherds that into the offensive zone, and Koslevsky will have to track it down on the forecheck. Raiders changing behind the play. Gossler back out on the ice now as the Hawks come through the neutral zone. Koslevsky with a good poke check stops the momentum for the Hawks, and now they break in without speed to the offensive zone. Gossler all over his man. Finkelstein still out there with him. The Hawks have the puck in the offensive zone, trying to set up a play here as the puck rolls all the way to the weak side, and Hyder will pick it up on the forehand. Hyder's got Berliner, who's calling for the puck. Berliner puts his stick down, finds the puck, and skates and dumps that puck in. Finkelstein will be able to go for a change now as the Raiders complete the forward and defenseman chain. Berliner all alone in the offensive zone, trying to buy time for his 4 skaters to find him. Oh, a bouncing puck hops out of the zone, though, and Colombo will have to track back now and try and use the boards to work that up and out. Puck still flutters at the blue line. The Hawks are able to keep the zone. They send that into the slot. Look out here, but Vigliotti gets his stick down on the ice, and he's able to cut out the threat in the slot. Now Gosler takes over in his own zone. He comes weak side. Vigliotti sets up shop at the blue line there. Tries to work that puck farther into the zone, but it hits a skate, and the Raiders come right back into the zone. They were onside by a hair, according to the linesman. Doesn't matter, though, as the Hawks take over the puck in their own zone and come with speed through the neutral zone. Gosler turns, send his man wide, gets his stick on puck, and that puck is deflected up and into the netting, and that'll give us time to visit with our last sponsor this evening. Today's Game on Midnight Sports is made possible by people stopping their conversations when you walk into the room. Hockey fans, did it just get a little quieter when you walked into the room? Did everyone just stop talking and look over at you? Don't worry. That's because they were probably talking about you. Hey, who knows? Maybe it's because they were agreeing with each other about how great you are and didn't want you to get embarrassed by all the compliments. Or maybe they were all complaining that they don't look as good as you do. Or there's no way they could pull off that jacket you're wearing. That's probably it. It's people stopping their conversations when you walk into the room. There's at least a 2% chance they weren't saying mean things about you. Well, Petrocinelli goes end-to-end there. The Raiders keep the offensive zone. A nice double save by the Hawks goaltender on that mini break by Petrocinelli as he tried to round the goaltender. Couldn't quite put it home, though, as he had a man draped all over him. Hawks player blows a tire, but they're able to keep the zone and work it farther in to the near corner. 5:49 left to go here in the third period in this tie game. Pizarro tries to work the puck farther up into the offensive zone. He does, but without possession, and Petrocinelli now in on the forecheck as the Hawks try and set up their play. They skate out into the slot, pass that into the neutral zone, do the Hawks, and then they gain the offensive zone. No support for the Hawks as they're making a change behind the play, and Gosler will have some time to pick up this puck. He does. Goes from backhand to forehand, then looks weak side. Uses the boards, tries to find Pizarro on a bank pass. That puck's going to go just off angle and go for an icing with 5:19 left to go here in the third period.
It's going to be a nail-biting 5 minutes, Colin. The game's still tied, but really, I mean, you can't really predict what's going to happen. It can go either way. So if you're watching, stay glued to the tube because we're going to see some fireworks or a tie game, but either way, it's going to be a lot of fun.
And now's not the time to go to the fridge for that frosty adult beverage. Berliner leans over the near dot, wins that back to Gosler, skates behind his own net, goes around one man, and now he's going to be able to pass this up and out of the zone. He finds Berliner into the neutral zone. Berliner now with the puck, leans forward. He's got it on the forehand. Puck is deflected wide on that shot. Koslevsky pops that into the blue paint, but it's covered immediately by the Hawks goaltender as Samosi tries to jam that puck in. So with 5:02 left to go in the third period, it's going to be an offensive zone draw for the Raiders. They've got Berliner, Samosi, Koslevsky, Gosler, and Steinfink out as their 5 skaters. Face-off's going to come to the left of the Hawks goaltender. Berliner tries to win that forward. Samosi tracks down the puck, works it over to the far boards. Heavy hit on his man there. As the shot comes in, deflection goes just up and over the Hawks goaltender, but wide of the cage. The Hawks break out of their zone on a diagonal pass. Steinfink hurries back to cut out the threat. Wonderful play by his stick there. Then he gets support, but the Hawks send something in on Bricker, and he stands tall. Hawks get it back. They try a soft shot that doesn't reach the cage. Boy, Bricker prevented a real problem there as the puck rolled off the Zamboni doors, but the puck's still in on the Hawks. Bricker tries to stick that aside. It goes all the way through the blue paint there, and Samosi will pick up on the weak side. Samosi with the puck. He gets that puck out of the zone, and the linesman gets in the way, and Berliner picks up and finds Samosi again. Samosi gains the zone only momentarily now as the Raiders are changing behind the play. They've got their defenseman out. Hawks player blows a tire again, and the Raiders will pick back up. Koslevsky has the puck as the Raiders try and complete their change. He was looking all the way up the ice, and the Hawks man intercepted in the neutral zone, but couldn't bring it any farther as the Raiders feather that up, and Finkelstein works the puck farther. Finkelstein has the puck in the offensive zone. Vigliotti bodies the puck farther. The Hawks take over in their own zone and work it up into the neutral zone. Hyder tries to return the pass. Instead, Hawks skate gets in the way, and they break into the offensive zone. Only so far as Vigliotti. is playing with some real verve now out there as Finkelstein works the puck farther. Kalemba with him to try and jam that puck in the offensive zone. Instead, the Hawks cycle it the other way. The Hawks in the offensive zone. Screen shot comes in, kicked aside there by Bricker. You could hear the pad save from up here, ladies and gentlemen. Hawks take over again in the offensive zone, trying to work something into the slot. Aiden jams it wide all the way to the far corner. Vigliotti picks up there. He's got 2 men all over him, and he's separated from the puck. Hawks still looking for that slot pass. Instead, the puck sits on the back of the net and then comes off as Vigliotti has a man on his stick, and the shot comes in now by the Hawks. Saved nicely by Bricker. Finkelstein will take over in his own end. Finkelstein tries to come weak side. Instead, it's cut out by the Hawks. Raiders need a freeze here, or they need to get the puck out of their zone. A lot of the action right in front of their bench. They do get the puck out of their zone, though, and Vigliotti's going to track that down. He works it over to Kalemba, just not quite far enough, and the Hawks get there first. Raiders change as they get that puck in the offensive zone. And Steinfink out there now tries to sweep that puck farther. The Hawks come away with it, though. Can't do much with it as Gossler dances around his man, and then Berliner for support is able to pick up the puck. Berliner's got Kalemba with him. 2-on-2 action into the offensive zone of the Raiders. Berliner rounds his man. He's on the backhand, and finally a nice back check there by the Hawks. Take him off the puck, and they'll come right back the other way. 2:27 left to go in this one. Good back check by Berliner. Stops the play at least momentarily. Shot comes in. It's sticked wide by Bricker, and Gossler fires in the near corner to try and work that puck up and out of the zone. Hawks keep the zone. They send it back in, hits a body, and comes into the near corner. Hawks pick it up at the end boards, but there's a touch there, and we're going to get a call. Looks like it'll be interference. Unclear who it's going to be on just yet. Hard to see who's skating to the box. Now it's going to be Gossler going for 2 minutes to the box for interference with 2:11 left to go in this one. So the Raiders have a bit of a mountain to climb now. But this is a team that scored many shorthanded goals, Ralph. We saw some last night.
No, they could do it. They could do it. I mean, bad time to really pick up a penalty, but I don't know. Soft call in my opinion, but hey, the ref's been doing a pretty decent job all game. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but this is where we separate the men from the boys, Colin.
Ralph, what's that game with the lines and the X's and O's that you play? What's that?
Tic-tac-toe?
Oh, ticky-tack call. I can't believe you'd say that was a ticky-tack call in the corner, Ralph. Well, your words, not mine. In any event, Berliner takes over the puck, works it in the offensive zone. Bizarro tries to send it farther, and then the Hawks clear that offensive zone. Steinfink takes over in the neutral zone. He dumps it in deep, or tries to, hits a body, but he gets a second shot at it and sends it in. Bizarro now with 1:45 left to go in this game, 1:32 left to go on the penalty kill for the Raiders. The Hawks will break out of their zone, but without possession. Puck rolls off Steinfink's stick, though. Hyder over to cover. The Hawks take over at the far circle. They send it rink wide, trying to set up a play here. They work it up to the blue line, and now into the high slot. Shot comes in. Bricker kicks that aside. Bricker stands tall with just 84 seconds left to go. Steinfink tries to work that puck farther. Works it only to the half wall, and the Hawks still have the puck at the end boards. The Hawks have some time to set up here with 1:13 left to go, 1:01 left to go on the kill. But Hyder emerges with the puck out of the near corner. It's Hyder in the neutral zone. He's got Pizarro with him. Hyder sends a long shot in. It's gloved and then sent down by the Hawks goaltender, so there's no face-off coming. 60 seconds left to go in this one. 48 seconds left to go on the kill. Finkelstein all over his man right in front of the Raiders bench. The Hawks gain the zone. They send a pass in. It hits a stick. And now it's the Hawks trying to set up shop in the Raiders zone with 47 seconds left. Puck just sits in the near corner. Bodies everywhere down there as they try and free the puck up. The Hawks come away with it. They're at the far circle. Stick gets in the way. Finkelstein with a great stick there prevented the Hawks man from being able to pull the trigger. And now Bizarro emerges in the neutral zone. He's got 3 men all over him just trying to kill this. He gains the offensive zone and gets the puck back from Finkelstein. Now the puck's on Bizarro's stick. He leaves it for Finkelstein, comes back to Bizarro, and the Hawks will take over as they have one more skater on the ice. The Hawks send it diagonally all the way through the neutral zone. There's a mini break on. Steinfink back to try and cover up his man. Bricker able to paddle that aside and then cover up with 1:0 seconds left to go on the clock. No whistle coming. Late whistle. Some complaints there by the Dix Hills fans, but the clock only stopped when the whistle went. So with 10.5 seconds left to go in this one, Ralph, the Raiders survive that penalty kill.
I have no more nails to bite, Colin. I mean, what a performance by both of these goaltenders tonight. So if the parents are out there listening to us, get these young men a steak dinner tonight, please, because they have certainly earned their paychecks, these two young goaltenders.
Well, it'll be Finkelstein, Petrosinelli, and Bizarro as the forwards. The Hawks win that faceoff. Still some game left to play here. Shot comes in, goes wide of the cage. 5 seconds left now. Collision in front of the cage. No whistle yet. Shot comes in again. It rolls in the blue paint, but no shot eventually coming, and we go final here at World Ice Arena in Flushing Meadow, Queens. It's Raiders 2, Dix Hills Hawks 2. Ralph, what do you think?
Wow, I mean, you know, we're not going to take away anything from anybody today. A well-deserved draw by both teams. It was physical. It was fast. There was lots of shots. It was end-to-end. I mean, this is what you get up and you watch hockey for, guys. Great performance by both teams. Great performance by both goaltenders, no less. And just a good game. Congratulations to both teams. But 2-2, I think was the right score today, Colin.
Well, Ralph, thanks so much for joining us again up here in the booth, and a special thanks to all those Midnight Sports viewers. We'll see you again next weekend when the Raiders head to Philadelphia for the My Hockey Tournament. Tune in then. But until then, stay safe, and getting a late note from the truck, don't forget to tune in to McClancy as they take on Kellenberg tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. right here on Midnight Sports.